Hey everybody, how about this? We're on time. It's 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock your time, and we are here. So, welcome to the Principal Chiropractic broadcast sponsored by DE and Band of Brothers around the world. So, before we introduce our speaker, just want to give you all the headlines. Now, April 18th to the 21st in Clearwater Beach, Florida is the next DE. And they tell us that the hotel cutoff is Monday. So I'm telling you, get your hotel room now because they will gobble up. And once that block is gone, then it's hard to get them. If you have a room that you don't need, make sure you get back with Kat. Get it with her. Don't just give it back to the hotel because there's always people trying to get there in the last minute. The next meeting is July 18th back in Atlanta. And then the big kahuna in October 24th, 27th, back in Atlanta, back at the Mecca. That's the 60th anniversary of DE. Think about it. People have been going to DE for 60 years. How many lives have been impacted because of that first one 60 years ago in October? Amazing. So don't miss any of the three. Tonight's speaker is Anthony Lopez. Most all of you know Anthony's been coming to DE for a long time. Even though he's a young man, he's been coming to DE for a long time. He's from Mississippi, went to school at Life University, and went back to his home and started up a practice called Clear Families Chiropractic. I love that name, Clear Families Chiropractic. And he's been there 5.5 years, and what he stepped up. He's now been an RA for the state of Mississippi for the ICA for 3 years. And I can tell you from being on those calls, Anthony's always there. He's always giving. He's always got good ideas. And just, I love this guy. I love his pack. He's got a wolf pack that they started with in school, and they are killing it. So again, it started as students, and a lot of people start as students when it's free and it's easy to get to. But he and his group still keep coming back, and success leaves clues. So I'm going to let Anthony tell his story about his successes and his challenges and how DE has impacted his life. So Anthony, take over, brother.
What's up, everybody? Excited to be on the call. Thank you, Dr. Andy, for the introduction. Man, it's always super surreal to be on here or to be, on stage or whatever, speaking at DE or just speaking to the people of DE, because I always have this feeling that I have gotten so much growth in my life, and so much of what I have right now is a credit to DE. And what Dr. Sid really did with starting this movement, and then what he did in fighting for chiropractic in the way that he did, and being known as the defender of chiropractic. And so I'm just so grateful. And I just want to start off with that attitude of gratitude, I guess you could say, right, from a waist. But it really does mean the most to me. And I hope it does to you guys. And I don't know, what as far as we don't really look at who watches these necessarily. There may be some statistics somewhere that maybe Kat knows or somebody knows, but I don't know if somebody's on the call tonight that maybe you're thinking about going to chiropractic school and someone said, hey, look, hop on this call and listen to this. Or, it's just a bunch of us that have been doing this for a little bit of time, or most of us that have been doing this for a long time, however it fits. I hope that you can find, some little nugget tonight that'll come out. And I can promise you it won't be because I'm something special. It'll be because somebody else has said it, or it's going to be, God ordains to come out of my mouth. Innate is going to be speaking through me, right? So once again, just grateful to be here. I like to start off too, when I do these, kind of rehashing some of my favorite points of the previous DE. So if you haven't been to a DE before, first off, it's one of the most transformational experiences that you can ever have in your life, is to go to a place where it's literally just all love and it's all chiropractic. right? And I talk to my wife about this all the time, who comes with me every now and then to DEs. And I know a lot of people, their spouses that maybe aren't in the office, come and they get a lot out of DE because it's life principles. It's love principles. It's a lot of just things that are going to help you be a better you, help you be a better spouse, help you be a better brother, a better sister, a better son, daughter, chiropractor, better leader. They're really just success and life principles. And as Dr. Andy just said, right, success leaves clues. And so let's start off here by kind of reading a few of my favorite quotes, if you will, that were said in the last DE. And again, hope you get something from this too. You guys might even remember some of these that were said. So I believe it was Dr. Cordero that said, if someone told you that you could have 1 year of hard and obtain a life that was forever changed in return, what would you do, or would you do it, right? And I think that's a powerful statement, because what I wrote down underneath that is like, we have that decision every single day. Every single day of our lives, we have a decision to choose hard, to choose our hard, right? To choose a more difficult path, potentially, to make difficult decisions, to get uncomfortable. And ultimately, it's that decision that really can indicate and determine our success as we move forward, right? If you can make one hard decision and stick with that for a year, your life can be forever changed. We have that decision that we can make every single day. Distractions are not worth your time. There is no reason worthy enough to distract you from your purpose. Awais said that. And again, so powerful, because every single day, it doesn't matter how on fire and how on purpose you are, there's going to be something that is going to aim to distract you, right? And whether it's something from a family member, whether it's something from a practice member that you take care of, a team member, maybe if you're still a student, it's another student, trying to distract you from, principal chiropractic and getting you all distracted by, systems and procedures and money and all this other kind of stuff, right? Right. Your purpose doesn't change. And so you have to be strong enough in mind and heart to know that you got to stay focused, right? Don't let the distractions enter into your space. Tim Warner said, when you leave all the excuses behind, you can start building the life you want, right? So kind of similar to the choosing the hard, right? We have all of these different reasons as to why we can't make those decisions, why I can't, wake up in the morning and meditate and do my breaths, why I can't make it to the gym in the evenings or the mornings or the afternoons or whatever it is to take care of the vessel that God's given me to steward, to serve people, right? We have all these different excuses that we can come up with, and ultimately they all fall flat because they really don't take us to where we want to be. They don't help us become a better chiropractor, to help us become a better servant, and ultimately it just, again, falls flat, right? So we have to be aware of those things, leave them all behind. Lieberman said, even if coming to DE isn't life or death for you, it is for someone else walking into your office, counting on you to be the best that you can be and to get them clear. And that's pretty powerful, right? Because, DE is 4 times a year. And for some people, even for some friends, I know, it hasn't been a part of their regimen. And sometimes it's because they feel like things are going well in their practice. Like if it's like, oh, things are going smoothly, I don't necessarily need DE. I feel like I got the principle. Why do I need to spend, all this money to fly out there and, kind of use up a weekend away from my family? And I understand that. It's not always easy to leave your family, especially if your family doesn't come with you to DE. Or maybe if you're struggling in practice and you feel like you don't have the finances to be able to afford it, or you've got some kind of other engagement in life that you feel like it would be a better use of your time. But ultimately, right, it may not be life or death for you to get to DE, but it is for those people that are coming into your office that are counting on you to be the best version of yourself, to serve them and to deliver that specific adjustment, to communicate it with that preciseness and that love and that certainty and that clarity that they need in order to be able to actually accept what it is that an adjustment is going to do for them, right? That it's not just going to be about the pain, that it's not just going to be about the symptoms, that it's not just going to be about the illness or disease. It's going to be about the expression of the intelligence within, right? And so big stuff. And then the last thing, if you aren't where you want to be, it's because you don't believe people's lives are dependent on what you do, right? Um, One thing that DE always consistently reminds me of is the bigness of what we do, right? The bigness of every single adjustment, whether that's an Atlas adjustment, whether that's a T6 adjustment, whether that's an L5 adjustment, whether it's an AI sacrum, whether it's a PI ilium, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The bigness of getting that person clear cannot be overstated. The importance of that. And so we need to be preparing, again, our vessels every single day to deliver that and staying focused on the importance of it, right? So those are some big takeaways from last DE. And so if that, again, if you're on the call and you haven't been to a DE and that some of that kind of sounded inspiring to you, imagine a whole weekend of that. Just like speaker after speaker after speaker, just talking and like just dropping knowledge bombs like that. And so I encourage you, if you aren't signed up, get signed up. If you've been to a DE but it's been a while, get signed up. If you've been to every single DE for the last 10 years, get signed up. You need to be there. I'm going to be there. All my friends are going to be there. So I would encourage you to get there as well and find your tribe. Find your tribe. So as far as like my life and kind of my path to get to where we are, so we're in Gulfport, Mississippi, which is pretty much the southernmost part of Mississippi that you can be at. We're on the beach near Biloxi. Some of you may be more familiar with Biloxi, but we love it down here. It's a lot different than where I grew up in Mississippi. A lot more people are a lot more open, a lot more health conscientious. Obviously, just like anywhere else, we're still going to have certain things we have to work through. But there have been some really awesome changes that have happened in our state since I've been here. One really amazing and incredible change that's happened is the removal, the addition of religious exemptions for vaccinations. That was a big thing for us in moving to Mississippi, or back to Mississippi, I should say, originally. And discussions with my wife about this, and I basically had to just kind of trust. I just had to put a lot of trust and faith in God that it was just going to work out, and that we would figure out a way to, for our future family, that we would not have to stress about that, and we'd make it work. And if I needed to, every single day I would just check them just to make sure, if we had to inject them, with vaccines to go to school, we were going to do what we had to do, or homeschool or whatever. But that's all been lifted, and so that's just a huge weight off our shoulders. And that's just one of the things that have happened since we made the decision to come here. And it's so cool when you're living life on purpose, and you have this sense of peace about where things are going, and doors just kind of open. It doesn't mean that every day and every single situation is always easy, but it's amazing how, like, when you're not being resistant against like maybe God's plan for your life, or what innate intelligence is trying to tell you, or universal intelligence is leading you towards, right? However you think about that, it's something that just like naturally flows. It naturally flows. Now, of course, us being chiropractors, we're always salmon swimming upstream, right? So we always have the battle of chiropractic, against the mainstream medicine, if you will. As much as I hate to call that a battle, it really is, man, because everything that we're communicating about health and healing is all opposed to everything that seems to be over there on that side. And I get that there's a time and a place, for people to go into that setting and get care, but it's not as often as it is. And so that was one of the biggest things that was unveiled to me before I went to chiropractic school, was just the chronic overuse of medications. And so I grew up kind of seeing that play out in my family's life in different ways, really more so like grandparents, more so than even my parents. But I remember always thinking like, why do I need to take a Tylenol for my headache? Or why do I need to take an ibuprofen for my headache? Like, my body is supposed to be able to heal itself, right? What's the immune system for? Why do I need to take this? And granted, that's a little bit of a simplistic way to view it, because there are some nuances to that, but it's so true. At the end of the day, the essence of it is true. Our bodies were given this innate ability to heal, thrive, and function, and we just need no interference, right? Unfortunately, I didn't grow up with chiropractic, so I was living a very subluxated life while having those thoughts. And obviously, we know that even a subluxated person is going to do better off without all the crap inside of them, but it's much better now knowing that, hey, look, we got chiropractic we can offer these families, these kids, and we can speak in confidence that, like, hey, look, yeah, this is why kids come into the office, because a kid that's clear and connected, that's body's functioning like it's supposed to, that intelligence is being expressed like it's supposed to, they're going to be better. Like it is made evidenced every single day in all of our offices, right? So I hope you guys are communicating with that same amount of certainty with your people that are coming in. I just had a guy today, like he asked me after his adjustment, he was like, so my mom used to bring me in when I was a baby. I was a colicky baby, and I was like, man, that's awesome. I'm so happy that your mom did that. That she knew that chiropractic could help. And he's like, yeah. And then after he like, so like, how does chiropractic actually help a baby, or a kid? And I'm like, man, that's a great question, and I really just kind of told him it's no different than it is for you, right? That same intelligence that you have, the same reason that we adjust you and get you clear is the same reason that we'd be doing that for a young child. The symptoms just typically look a little bit different, but we're not adjusting for the symptoms anyway. We're adjusting to turn the power on. And I love using the analogy of a breaker box. Like if an electrician comes over to your house because, a certain portion of your house electrically isn't working, and they go to the breaker box, which hopefully we don't need an electrician to come out for that. We all are intelligent enough to check our breaker boxes first. But, having said that, electrician comes over, they open up the breaker box, and we have, a breaker tripped. We trip that breaker back, and then all of a sudden we've got power back to our fridge or, our, whatever else. And that's kind of the same thing that how I described it to him. And he was like, yeah, he's like, I remember you saying that before. That makes a lot of sense. And I love using analogies like that because it really does help kind of bridge people from where they are when they come in and meet them where they're at, and then paint this picture of like, hey, this is another explanation, another way of understanding how what we do is so powerful to the body, and that it isn't just about pain or symptom. It's about the expression of life within, right? So super powerful. So when you think about like DE and what DE's done for me, DE gave me all of that. It gave me all of that knowledge that I have about the principle of chiropractic. We have the green books, which are amazing, but I'll be honest, I was not ready for the green books whenever I went to DE. I had tried reading them a couple times, and I just was not able to get into them. And now I love reading them. I'm not gonna say I've read them all, but I will definitely like sit down and take time and read through those books. I even have Stevenson's textbook that I'm actually reading right now. I typically read a little bit of that every day. Danny Goodman actually inspired me to do that, and so far I'm loving it. It's given me. Not necessarily, I'm not learning anything new that I didn't already know, but it is helping me grow more and more confident in the principle and then communicating the principle, giving me some different language to use in certain ways as well. So it's great. And I encourage you guys to do the same. Actually, I have it right beside me, the Stevenson's chiropractic textbook right here. Boom. Recommend all of you guys get that, whether you're a chiropractor student or a prospective student, or maybe even not even a chiropractor or anything at all. Not even thought about doing chiropractic. I don't know how you would have found your way on the call, but consider picking this book up because it's going to help you understand really how the body works and how chiropractic plays a part. So I think I kind of want to wrap up with two things. So I've got one thing I want to kind of share with you guys about habits, because I personally have been struggling with habits earlier, right? Which is probably why I leaned so much into that one quote that had to do with like taking care of your vessel and everything like that. So I had an injury a few months ago, and it's kind of taken me out of the gym, and I've really struggled with getting back into the habit of the gym. And so I'm reading this book right now called Atomic Habits. And so I hope that this few little pieces of information will help you guys out. But really, when you think about habits in our lives, right, whether it's a good habit or a bad habit, it typically starts off with a cue, right? So like most of us brush our teeth in the mornings, right? Well, the cue for brushing our teeth in the morning is we walk into the bathroom, maybe we use the bathroom, and then all of a sudden it's like, I'm going to brush my teeth. And that's our cue, whatever it looks like. The cue is there. Then all of a sudden you have the craving for it. It's like the cue is the action, and then you start having this like emotion that's like, I need to go do this. So then you go and you perform the activity, right? So that, which is the response, and then you get the reward for that, feeling good that you brush your teeth, you did something positive for yourself. And so that's kind of the natural progression of how habits work in our lives. Then you have these ways that you can basically use that formula and implement new habits, or avoid bad habits in certain ways, right? So one of them is habit stacking. So we just use the formula of how maybe you brush your teeth and how that all works. So another one may be like, okay, well, I am going to use that consistent habit that I have of brushing my teeth, and I'm going to add in, um, you know, going in and taking a shower. So I'm going to brush my teeth, and then I'm gonna formulate the habit and add to that of now I'm gonna take a shower. And so now you have this string of habits that are together to where you're doing those both at the same time instead of it being like separate things that you have to do. Or maybe it's, for me, I don't like folding clothes, so maybe it's like I'm gonna brush my teeth and then I'm gonna fold my clothes, or something like that. So that's one way that can help you. Another way is where you take it and you say, okay, I have a habit that I'm doing regularly, like brushing my teeth or like making my coffee, right? I'm gonna make my coffee, and then what I want to do is get on my phone afterwards. I want to get on my phone and look up, if there was a Facebook post for the day or whatever that I need to see from our community Facebook page. So I'm like, that's maybe a little bit less important than other things I need to do, right? Like maybe meditating or doing the breaths or prayer or whatever. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna make my coffee, and then I'm gonna have a habit of doing the breaths, and then I get to do maybe what I wanted to do in the first place, which was look up, and see if anybody posted anything on the community Facebook page that day. Whatever, just throwing an example out there, right? But you guys can take this and apply this into your lives. And so for me, I want to be able to kind of use this to hack into my psyche and help me be able to have better habits, to be able to be more consistent with my reading, to be able to be more consistent with getting into the gym, be more consistent with my team training in our office, right? And following up on that in meetings and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, hope you guys can use that for your own benefit, because I know it has benefited me. And then, like, really what I want to leave off on that I think is most important is I'm going to take us back into the chiropractic realm, is really the last two things. One is I want to read the chiropractic oath to you guys, because I think a lot of times as chiropractors, we forget the importance of that. So I'm going to read that, and then I have one more thing I'm going to read, which is from BJ Palmer. So
Hey, Anthony, can you hear me? You froze up. So we didn't get to listen to the chiropractic oath. I don't know if you can hear me, brother, or not, but we see you in a still spot right now. Can you hear me now? Okay. So I guess go ahead and finish reading what you're reading about the chiropractic oath and the BJ, because you froze up right before you started with the chiropractic oath. So go ahead.
Oh man, dang! I knew something was weird because it went black. So sorry, guys. Maybe my internet went spotty. But in accordance with the law of nature, that law which God has prescribed to all men, and in consequence of my dedication to restoration of the sick to health by the application of that law, I promise and swear to keep, to the best of my ability and judgment, the following oath. I will observe and practice every acknowledged rule of professional conduct in relation with my profession, my patient, my colleague, and myself. I will keep an open mind regarding the progress of my profession, provided that this progression shall be confined within the boundaries of the chiropractic science, philosophy, and art. I'm going to stop there for just a second, because this is super powerful. And I say that because there's so many in our profession that want us to be doing so many other things. They want to expand our scope. They want us to be able to be, quote unquote, evidence-based. They want us to be preventative, and like doing a whole, like preventative for the subluxation. So doing a lot of like massage and a lot of other like treatments and modalities in our offices. But this right here specifically specifies, provided this progression shall be confined within the boundaries of the chiropractic science, philosophy, and art. That should not impact our mission in our office. That should not impact our mission statement whatsoever in chiropractic, right? Chiropractic is chiropractic. It's the detection, the analysis, and correction of subluxation, right? That is how we take care of people. It's not all these other things. I mean, if you do that, no judgment, but it can be distracting from what we're supposed to be doing, the major purpose of what we're doing. So continuing on, I will serve my patient to the best of my ability, violating neither his confidence nor his dignity. And in my association with patients, I shall not violate that which is moral and right. I shall regard and refer to my fellow chiropractor with honor, giving credit where it is due. I shall improve in my knowledge and my skill, firm in my resolution to justify the responsibility which the decree of Doctor of Chiropractic symbolizes and imposes. To all this, I pledge myself, knowing these ideals are prescribed by the dictates of reason alone. So this is the oath that we take, right? I mean, this is embodying a lot of different things, but it's a huge weight. It's a huge responsibility that we take. And if you look at one of the last things that BJ Palmer, the developer of chiropractic, right? He makes a statement. And he says, "May God flow from above down to bounteous strengths, courages, and understandings to carry on, and may your innates receive and act on that free flow of wisdom from above down, inside out. For you have in your possession a sacred trust. Guard it well." And I always think about guard it well, because that is a responsibility placed on all of us. Obviously, we have the oath that we just took, which has a lot in it. But how are we guarding our profession? How are we protecting our profession? Are we protecting our profession? Are we protecting our self-interest in the profession? Are we protecting our offices and our finances, right? And so this doesn't say anything about that. Obviously, it wants us, like we want to be, we should be successful, and we should make money, and we should do all these things. And I believe that if you serve people the right way, you will. But ultimately, we have to guard it well, guard the principle well. And that means keeping it as pure and unsullied as possible. It took me a long time to understand that, because in the healthcare field, being a chiropractor, you feel like you're in the healthcare field, right? And you want to do all the things that you know about to help people. But in reality, there's only one thing that you should be able to do that no one else can do. And that's provide a very specific scientific chiropractic adjustment to clear that person out and help enhance the quality of their life. I could go on, but I think I just kind of word vomited on you guys with a lot of like really passionate stuff. So I hope again that something was gleaned from this, and you can take it into your offices this week. You can take it into your settings and maybe as a student, into your workplace, whatever it looks like for you. Apply it and just let it fuel you. And so that's all I got. Love and appreciate you guys. If you see me at DE, come holler at me.
Thank you, my man. Appreciate you. You may not remember what you first said was, it may not be my brilliance, but maybe God will ordain a nugget or two. And God ordained a lot of nuggets there. That was good, brother. Choose hard, kind of ties into what you were saying about, it's easy to be distracted by saying, I can add this and add that. And yeah, it may help a patient, but is it really chiropractic? Is it going to water the chiropractic down? And that's exactly what Dr. BJ was talking about, and the second thing he said was distractions are usually not worth or worthy your attention. I love that. The distractions can get us offline because, it's the world is knee deep in subluxations, and we don't have to be any more than that. And that alone is enough to save lives. And that alone is got to be our primary and only focus, and guard that well. Did a great job tonight, brother. Appreciate you. Love you so much. And I'm going to see you in here about 4 weeks. Want to see all of you in 4 weeks. Go. Remember that the hotel block is ending Monday. So get registered, get your hotel. Let's go down there. Let's just kick ass and have a great time. Love you and appreciate y'all. See you next Tuesday.
Amen, brother.